And welcome back to our game here in OpenTTD, where we're growing here in the Moor Valley, a transport company. And we are joining here at an interesting time. So before we start, I had actually figured out one small issue from the last episode that I observed, and that is this station and its signaling. So one problem that occurs here in OpenTTD is that when the passenger train comes here to Marguerite, it goes into the station and the next destination for it is like going north again. The problem is the way it works, it looks at the signals here and it sees this signal and it says, oh, the signal is not looking in my direction. It's not about me. I can just drive past here. And it does that all the way to the top and it says sometimes, well, it's great. I can just go on this direction here all the way to the top. And then it reserves the path to the top here, and then you have the problem that a different train comes in and they're blocking each other, and then there's a traffic jam. That is really stupid, but that's how it works. And the problem to solve that is actually to just create like a signal here. So I hope I halfway kind of coherently explained that, but what these signals here do, the difference is this little stop sign. So if the train is here, and it evaluates whether it can go up north here on this right track. It looks at the stop sign and says, oh no, I can't. There's a stop sign. So let's look at this direction. Here in this direction I can by just going through this loop. And then it does that. So this prevents some traffic jams that occasionally could have happened. Not sure what exactly the conditions for it were, but I definitely saw it, and it costs a lot of money if there's a traffic jam because it blocks like 90% of our trains, and that costs a lot of maintenance. So getting back to the topic, what we're going to do today, since we already cleared up our last session's a little bit mistake here, we're going to go for, we will make the way towards going for engineering supplies, because that is the way to grow. We have a lot of factories connected, and if they had engineering supplies, they would double and triple their production. So we want to do that. That's the idea. But to get engineering supplies, we have to connect something new, and that something new here is ports, because ports are what gives you engineering supplies, and there are not so many ports here on this map. In fact, there's only exactly 2 ports on this map. So we can go to the first one, which is down here. It's not too far from our current road here, but on the other side of the big hill, which is hard to transpass. And this is the port. So what you have to do to a port is you have to deliver goods, china clay, or food, and in return you can pick up some engineering supplies, which will make your production go crazy. Unfortunately, this location is it's a bit hard to reach. So what you have to do is you have to get through this tunnel, and you can go on top of it, which I think is not realistic. I want to play this like nice, or you can build a tunnel, but depending on where you put the tunnel, it's extremely expensive, so at least 200k, 300k. Maybe if you made a compromise, you could get it for 100k. It's definitely a little bit out of our price range, and I think this is kind of our Gotthard project. That's something we'll do, but not yet. Then there's another one, just to complete the thing, and this is actually fairly easy to connect if you're willing to go by ships, because we see that it can get food, and there's a dairy plant here, so you can just deliver milk to the dairy, and then you can get food. So milk you can pick up at a farm, you drive up here, get some milk, drive it down to the dairy, get food, deliver the food down here, get engineering supplies. But then the problem is mainly that it's really far away from where we are, so you probably want to go by boat. I'm not so happy with that. So I'm thinking more to go with this one down here, at least midterm. Right now, we're going to prepare for that. What I mean by preparing for that, we definitely want to go in that direction anyway, because here we can already see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more iron ore mines that we want to connect. So this is a natural way for us to go anyway. But before we do that, what I want to do this episode is to kind of touch this peninsula here, which is actually called the Peninsula of Ironland here in German. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 easy to connect iron ore mines, and one more here on this this sandbank, or whatever it's called. So that's our goal. We want to connect these here up to our railway up here, and then get really, really rich with iron ore selling, so that we can afford a tunnel to get engineering supplies. Yeah, that's the goal. So what do we want to do for that? So when I'm looking at this, so we probably want to sneak over here, get the railway to run along here, and then connect up here. And probably double track this one as well. And I think the most logical way to go across here is right here. The only thing that I'm thinking is that these trains will be heavy. And if we build a bridge, something like here, that's possible. And it will cost, I think, 30,000, yeah. But I think we do a little bit of terraform. It will save us in the long term because it will be more effective with regards to the speed of the trains, even though it costs us here quite a bit of money to terraform this. I think it's worth it. So where does it land? It lands right here on this lower one here. And that means we can do a little bit of terraforming from here to there. And yes, definitely expensive. I did it in the right place, yeah. But I think it's definitely worth it because it will, as I said, speed up all of our trains, which time is money in this game, especially here in the early stages where trains are so slow and so less powerful to go up any hills or elevations. So for this reason, we're going to go with it. So let's just accumulate a tiny bit of money. Then we can build our bridge. It looks beautiful. Awesome. And yeah, where do we build our train station? I think the people here in this in this region, they already know, like, if the train company is looking, admiring your little villages here, like Kasirvici, so nice, such a nice village. They are going to destroy with eminent domain a few of the old trade routes that have existed here for a few centuries, built by the Romans and whatnot. But yeah, we're gonna replace it like with iron horses, and you're gonna get great public transport for really cheap money, guys. Like, it's gonna be great. We're gonna really help you out here. We're gonna be connected to all the big cities, and those thousands of city people who come flooding your little village and buying overpriced souvenirs and postcards and whatnot. So it will be cool. Don't worry about it. So where do we place the train station? Do we want to build a 4-track train station? I think so, because we're going to make kind of a feeder system, I think, where we're going to feed into this and then deliver it out from this main station. I think that's going to be the plan. So we could take out this little hill here and then give us a little bit better positioning. We're going to start with a 2-station and expand it in a little bit. Let's go with 4. Let's go big or go home. Yeah, let's go. All right, big money. So now connecting that up. Yes. And for now, for sure, this will be single tracked. We couldn't afford anything else. Already going to place a few signals. And here in these places, you actually, if you're going to go in and out in the same way, you're actually abusing. Like when it comes in, as you saw, it goes from the back side of the signal. So it allowed to pass through. But when it goes out, it looks at this track here. And if any other train is on this track, it's not allowed to go in. So these signals need to be not this one-way signal, otherwise the train station won't work. So really important difference in this case to remember that for anybody who's playing along. And if you do, then comment. I am very interested if anybody's also a big OpenTTD fan. I'm not a big OpenTTD fan, to be honest. I play this game very casually. I'm not crazily good at it. I just I like trains. I like infrastructure type of games. I like these games where you're doing problem solving. So that's why I like this game specifically. And now what I want to do here is quickly figure out a good way to go on to the top. I see, like, this is fate. Oh, sorry, this is not fate. Sorry, it's not fate. Thought that we had like a perfect way, but we don't. We need to be on this elevation. We really want to avoid any type of elevation here. I want to not spoil this beautiful nature. I'm saying as I'm doing some terraforming. Close your eyes, Greenpeace, and this is going to be for the good of everybody. We're not going to have a lot of cars here in this world. We're not just going to have destruction of the environment. No, this is all just beautiful trains. All right, so this is gonna connect on this level. So this works. So then is this the right elevation, or am I too high? I think I'm too high by 1, right? I'm really having a hard time seeing this properly. Maybe I'm a little bit stupid, but yeah, it's going to have to go 1 up. All right, that's fine, acceptable. We have to live with that. But everything else looks great. This is actually much easier than I anticipated it. So this worked out beautiful. So we're going to put a little maintenance station, of course, is somewhere where we have some spot. So let's put it here. And yeah, how do we want to go with that? So this one needs to be double tracked. I'm pretty sure that's unavoidable. Otherwise, we have too many things going on this route. There's only 1 delivery station, 1 route. This is constantly going up and forth. So yeah, but this lower part, single tracked. So before we worry about that though, let's invest some of our hard-earned money that we don't have into a new locomotive. Do we want to go with this newest model here? It's much more powerful. Yeah, much more powerful. 5K more expensive. It has a max speed. We don't benefit from the max speed because the wagons are not allowed on that speed. So the wagons have a new wagon also. Look at this. All right. New wagon, 56 kilometers per hour. I think we might be able to reach that with this train. All right. Yeah, I think go big or go home. We're gonna go ahead and build this new wagon type. Why not? And the new train type, not to mention that. All right, then we are good to go. Going here, and then we are going to go ahead and transfer here at Wesselkirchen. So that means full loading here and transferring right here. That's right. I'm going to put that here in the corner so you can keep an eye on it while I do the double tracking. So with that, we're gonna have to get rid of that little hut. It's gonna be in the way, but you'll get a new one. And we're gonna run the double track. I might actually just be a little bit cheeky and just connect everything, because I think it's worth it, because in the end we are going to be able to deliver in every of those platforms, which is amazing. If there's not two things parked here, we can actually use the space much more effectively. So that makes sense, and we still have 1 dedicated one just in case. So we're just gonna have to cross it like this, and that's fine. And in regards to that, we're gonna have to do a little bit of terraforming, otherwise this is not gonna work. This is way too narrow otherwise. You can see how prohibitively expensive terraforming is, which is good. I think that's good, because it definitely makes you more creative, I think, when you have more limitations in this. Can squeeze by here, right? Right, good. Then here, I think we're just gonna get rid of that little hill here and run that track up here. Keeping it nice and pretty. So the train down there is loading. Good. You're keeping an eye on it while I'm doing this. There we go. So now we're running that one up and connecting it here. I think that's connected, hopefully. Let's just check the transparency options. So I'm a little bit concerned. And then we of course need to do a double cross here so that we can go through. And of course that's not the most effective way to build this whole thing, but it's the cheap way that I'm going to do it for now. And hopefully maybe we have at some point the opportunity to upgrade it. Yeah, Works. Simple, easy. Should be fine. So then let's jump on our new train here, which is running from down here. Okay, this guy upgraded their house. They saw like, oh, they're gonna need this land later on. Let's just build like a little bit of a larger house so that I get more money from the train company when they buy my land. I see what this guy is doing. I think in China they call it like needle houses or something, just building high to get more money when they're building new cities. And we're delivering, and you can see the other trains are picking it up, and we're now going back, and let's see how much we get, how much full it will be when it arrives down there. Yeah, completely full. So there's definitely more than enough from just this one factory, which is producing a lot. So just to spoil this guy's idea for any other people who have this idea, I'm gonna go ahead and purchase the land here behind the train station, just in case I want to do something with it. And yeah, actually I will also, the connection road will also be eminent domained out of it. Guy. Ah, yeah, the mayor's on his side. I see how they're playing their game. The mayor's on his side. He doesn't have to sell his land. Well, you're not gonna have a road. How about that? Like we have permission from the governor to make Mikhailivsky disconnected. It's anyway connecting down here, right? Like way far ahead. So we'll run you later on like some sort of service down there. So don't worry about that. But for now, this guy is screwed. It's probably the mayor's house, I guess. Oh, there's a little tractor in front of it. Or is it a motorcycle? What is it? Like, I guess let's call it a tractor. Some farmer here. All right. I see how they're playing their games. Fair enough. Who wouldn't do the same? So do we get a second train? So we can see that it actually doesn't get up to the 56k kilometers per hour that we hope for. But that's okay. I think we're happy campers that we now have no new connection down here. And I think the first order of business is indeed that we put a bit more train traffic on it. I'm just a little bit worried that this is way too long of a single track to put more than 1 or 2 trains on it. I guess 2 would be okay. Oh, you can see that now I made a mistake again, which is costing us. I forgot to signal it out. And this train is reserving basically this part of the platform, but because they are all connected and not separated out, the other train cannot enter. So we just have to do this. And since now you can see that it reserves also, does it reserve something? I think it reserved this platform. I think there could now be a new train coming in here. You could also put a signal here to prevent that. Let's not do that for now. Let's not overcomplicate things. So I'm not 100% sure what I want to do next. So do I want to double track that? I think I don't for now. Let's just do a part of it double tracked. And I think this part here could be a good passing, or how do you call it, like a siding maybe in railway terminology. I just like trains. I don't claim to be an expert on the terminology. So let's do that. I think that's enough space for a train to pass each other. So this should be good, so long as we have not more than 2 or 3 trains running on this track. They shouldn't block each other. There could be a blocking situation where 2 trains are inside here, and one is coming from this side and one is coming from that side, and then all 4 are deadlocked, and nobody can leave. That would be the Mexican standoff equivalent of the train world. But we'll try to just not let that happen somehow, by sheer hope. Not that we're doing actively anything to prevent it, just hoping it will not happen. Not that we could afford 4 trains right now, so I'm estimating this train costs about 30, 40, maybe? Let's see. Okay, about 30. That's fine. So it will go out when this one passed here. A little bit smart like this, so that's good. And you can see the steel train is still too heavy. It still hasn't been replaced. In fact, like it's been so long not replaced that in fact it's actually worth replacing it with a different vehicle than we originally intended. We wanted to replace it with a copper knob. Now we can replace it with this new one. So let's give the instruction for that. That's fine. And yeah, this one is filling up. So this looks pretty good. So yeah, I think I'm preemptively going to call the episode here. I think we reached, without losing more money, a new kind of goal where we conquered the Iron Peninsula and made our way here. And we established a small bridgehead, which we will use to expand up here and here and really collect all the iron ore from this little peninsula and deliver it all the way up to Wilmart to be smelted into steel. And that is the foundation for the next episode. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.